Hey everybody, I am going to play some Daggers today. I've been playing this for a while. I actually just wrote a review, which I hope will go live later today for popoptic.com. And this game is fantastic. It's also brutally hard, and for the last 2 days I have not been able to increase my rank on the leaderboards, and it's driving me crazy. I've topped out at, I want to say 239? Let's take a look. Yeah, right there, 239. And none of my friends are playing this, which is so sad. This game is awesome. Everybody should be playing it, and I highly encourage you to do so if you like the look of it. So, I'm gonna dive right in. See how we do. Probably gonna need a few minutes to kind of warm up here, but... Yeah, this is a garbage start. Come on. Alright, could have shaved a little more time off that, but... It's early yet. That was terrible. Alright. There we go. Alright, we're doing okay. The spider jerk. Ah, I missed one. That's a real drag. Where is he? There he is. There we go. Cards there. Clear out some of those jerks. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Whoa. I want to run off the edge. That's not a good way to go. That. Good lord. Ah. Alright. That could have gone a little better. But that's okay. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. I need a second to check my settings, however. I may have inadvertently screwed something up here, so... Sorry, give me just half a second. Sorry, I have some mic issues I'm currently dealing with. I just realized that I'm kind of screw a little something up here. Just give me a moment to adjust. Using my wrong mic input here, which doesn't do anybody any good. Okay, there we go. I think we're set. Alright, let's get back to it. For those of you who haven't seen this game, it just came out a couple of days ago. I want to say 3 days ago. It's $5 on Steam, which is a total steal. It presents itself as a simple arena shooter, but in fact is a little more than it appears at first glance. Or rather, I should almost say it's a little less than it appears at first glance, which is something I get into in my review. This is not exactly the kind of thing that you expect from similar games. Oh man, I must have missed a gem somewhere. This is going to go poorly. Oh boy. Gotta get this. Nope, too late. Sorry, trying to play catch up here and talk is a little difficult. But yeah, the game is really, I guess you could say, streamlined. It kind of cuts through a lot of the usual bullshit, I guess. And at the same time, it is not sort of this super random kind of thing. It's actually very tightly controlled. Enemies spawn in the same order every time, and you're really just constantly fighting the clock, not only in terms of that being what your score is, because that's really the only way this game keeps score. Your leaderboard stuff is all tied to just how long you survived. Crap, this is bad. I messed that up tremendously. Oh, good. We still made it. So there's kind of a very set order that you're probably going to do things in after you've been playing for a while. As you learn the ins and outs of the enemies, understand what their behaviors are like, and what they do when you're up against several varieties at once. You know, how to prioritize your targets, which ones are the more dangerous for whatever reason. Crap. Things of that nature. It's very different. I haven't played anything quite like this before, despite enjoying, you know, other kind of arena shooters. This one does something very different. And in particular, obviously you can see the graphical style here is intentionally low res, intentionally software rendered. It's made to look more or less like Quake. So, you know, which is a couple decades old now, which makes me feel incredibly old. But the nostalgia factor was huge in terms of me grabbing this. It was like, yeah, this looks awesome. Looks like, you know, Super Doom Quake or something. But in actuality, the game itself is much more than that. It's quite unique, and it does something very special. But it does have a lot of influence. From the classic shooters, especially Quake 3. At least that's my personal opinion. This moves a lot like Quake 3. I haven't played Quake 2 in a long time, so, you know, I can't remember exactly how that went. But this has very Quake 3 style bunny hopping, which, as you can see, I'm doing a lot of that to gain speed, to get away from things, particularly these guys right here, who are very fast. Everything, I think, in this game can outrun you. I think you move just a little slower than everything on the menu here. And like that, I messed up. That was just a case of me not moving fast enough. My momentum was... I wasn't curving at all. I was going in kind of a straight line and wasn't going fast enough to escape that dude. So bunny hopping can be very helpful for catching. You also have this sort of rocket jump, which can also help you catch up to things. It's not really a rocket jump because they're not rockets. It's sort of a shotgun type situation, but it operates on the same principle. And this is the only weapon. There is nothing else to this. It's even the same button. You don't even have different buttons for like alt fire or anything. Right here I'm just holding it, and so that gives you a stream of projectiles like so. And and then if you tap it, that gives you your shotgun. Both are useful. A lot of people overuse the shotgun, I find. It has its place, but pure aim will, and a good use of the stream. The stream of projectiles will help. In addition, you've got this button where you can just press it to restart at any time. So this has a very sort of Super Meat Boy-like quality to it. The arena does have an edge. As you can see, I can just fall right off there. So there is an edge to it, which one has to be cognizant of. The game does start off slow, but even in these early stages, when it's a bit more manageable, like on the early going, people don't know what they're doing, and people can't last more than 30 seconds a lot of times, like that. It does get fairly hairy in a hurry, and you have to know what you're doing. Like, you have to make use of the tools that have been provided, the movement tools, etc. And you have to know when to not waste time. Like, pursuing that guy any further would have been a waste of time for me. It's very much about time management, I find. Much like life. Like, you want to get everything killed off before this spider dude, oops, and then preferably not let the spider dude duck you, like I did there, which is not helpful. Alright, cut those guys, gotta get that in the middle before it goes off. And these things just take time to learn, like which targets sort of take priority. Where do you go first? It's always the same. I think maybe the positions do sort of have a little bit of variance, but not so much that, you can't sort of rely on your knowledge from game to game. Well, that went very poorly. And I need to check something here again real fast. Double check on the stream here. Make sure everything's working right. I haven't been paying close attention. I'm getting really absorbed in this. This is a very hard game to pull myself away from. The first night I bought it, I thought... Actually, I don't even think it was nighttime. I think it was like mid-afternoon. And I was taking a break from work, taking a break from some writing stuff, and was like, yeah, alright. This game looks really cool, the nostalgia factor was high. Clearly speaking to people of my gaming generation, who really cut their teeth on Quake and such back in the day. And I figured this looks like a game you can just sort of play a quick couple rounds of, and, you know, and that'll be fun, be great. And lo and behold, like 2 hours later, I realized that I had invested substantially more time than I had initially set out to. And I think by the end of the day, I had played for 5 hours. And even though this thing's only been out for like a few days, I've already gotten, I want to say I'm probably at about 30 right now. Maybe just under. Oh man. Now see, that's what you don't want to do, is waste so much time trying to hit a target that's evading you. Like, that is a bad use of time. Want those kills to come quick, so that you can focus on what you need to focus on here. You'll notice I'm stopping firing at times. It's another thing that people don't know at the outset. These gems that you pick up, they will eventually upgrade your weapons, except when you do that. So you can eventually get a little bit of a boost, but it takes a little while, and the gems normally will come right to you. Like, so you notice I'm firing, it sits right there. If I let go, I absorb it. And if you fire the shotgun, it actually repels it slightly. Like, well, that was a little too close, but so you kind of have to learn how there's a rhythm to firing, which takes a little time to get used to. And this has gone badly. I haven't finished taking care of the skulls from the previous round. And it appears that I also missed a power up. So I'm not going to have this until a little later than I want. Now it's too late for that. It's okay. It is what it is. Gosh. Yeah, this is going to be a bad run. I may as well just restart at this point, honestly. But I never do, because sometimes you surprise yourself and you end up doing something else so far above the way that you usually do it that it kind of evens out. But that doesn't usually happen. Still, we'll give it a whirl. I'm probably, I think I'm one pillar behind monolith, pillar, whatever you want to call these, spawner, behind where I normally am at this juncture. And that took forever too. That was garbage. You can kill yourself on the pillars, so you do have to watch that. Boy. Did I get all the skulls? Ah, not quite. There's a very specific way that I generally prefer to handle that situation, and when I don't, it's not that I never make up for it. It is certainly possible. If you do enough crowd control, when that worm thing is up and active, if you fail to kill it at the earliest opportunity, oh boy, this is not good either. Yeah, if you do fail to kill that worm at the earliest opportunity, it is possible to kind of make up for it later on if you are responsible about your crowd control. Okay, give me my stuff. Crap. That was almost bad. Very nearly just walked off the edge of the earth. And I walked back into a squid. One thing you may notice is that there's no music, and that is not because I turned the music off. It's actually because there is no music, aside from what you get on the menu. Positional audio is very important. You'll be able to hear where enemies are located, how close they are to you. Audio is extremely important in surviving certain situations. Like knowing where these guys, as soon as you hear that spidery bug crackle noise that they make, you know exactly where it is they're going to come from and where you need to be focusing fire to take them out as soon as possible. Because if you don't, they will eat your power-ups and they will spit them back at you in the form of these little pods that if you leave those long enough, they will burst forth into little pods of sort of these little skeletal bug guys that crawl around very quickly and are not super dangerous, but if you have too much else going on, they can become a problem pretty quickly. And of course you want your power-ups, you know, you want to grab those to get your upgrades as soon as you possibly can. The goal is not to miss any, if at all possible, so that you get the next weapon tier as soon as humanly possible. Alright, we're looking okay. As long as we can take this spider guy out. That's not great. It took a little while. Every now and again, these burrowing worm dudes kind of go underground a little sooner than you think they should. Normally they kind of make a couple of loops and they give you time to kill the spider, but I've had a couple instances where the timing didn't work out so well. Ah, boy. This is where the game really starts to get tough. I mean, certainly it's no slouch before this, until you've, you know, learned how to deal with it, but this starts to require a lot more finesse. As soon as you make a single mistake, you can fall so far behind that there's really not much hope of coming back. But in this early game, you know, it's kind of possible to fall a bit far behind here too, which can make your life difficult. If you haven't cleared all these guys out by the time Mr. Spider Guy here shows up, you can really start having trouble just, you know, playing catch up. And things can spiral fairly quickly out of control. And if you get too far behind on your crowd control, as far as even just these little basic enemies go, these little skulls, they can actually be a huge threat, since you don't have a health bar. You get hit once and that's it. And those guys form a pretty large cloud that just kind of, you know, flies around the whole map and can really be unpleasant. So even the little things you do have to pay attention to. There is a fairly tight system at work here that you need to respect. Taking a little too long. Still okay. So this and that last skull and we're good. Not the ideal placement for the spider. That's okay. We're good. That's the earliest opportunity that you can really kill that thing. You can kill it before the spider, but in doing so you will lose all of those power-ups, or at least, you know, a fair portion of them. Whoa. Come on now, man. I don't want to take too long to start collecting more gems here, because this is where you'll quickly get the third power level for your daggers. And you really want to keep these monoliths down for the next phase, which involves yet more spiders, and killing as many of those as possible before they are up is really helpful, so that you can this is not going well. Not going well at all. Okay. Get rid of this dude. Come back around. That wasn't quite it. Okay. Ah! Nope, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way you do it. Alright. It is a little bit of a bummer, having to sort of go back to the start every time. Like, there is... Early on, I think probably for the first 20 hours or so, like, that wasn't the case for me at all. This was still fairly compelling because it was still a bit more difficult. Once you kind of really have your system down, it can be a little bit of a bummer because you're like, oh man, I just want to, you know, get back to practicing the thing I haven't really been able to practice yet, which is using that third weapon upgrade. I have gotten there numerous times, but I have not, I don't think I've managed to completely kill the second worm. And so it's like I want to practice that section, but every time I kind of have to go back here and essentially practice the fundamentals some more. And there's nothing wrong with that. It makes you a better player, which in a game like this is of the utmost importance, since this is a kind of a skill-based game. And people who have played a lot of, you know, like Quake 3 back in the day will have an inherent advantage, I think, given the fact that the movement is so similar, so many of these concepts. Like, when I first jumped into it, I was instantly comfortable. Straight away I started bunny hopping. I learned how to properly use the shotgun rocket jump pretty fast once I realized that was a thing. So people who have been playing, you know, more modern shooters and gotten really good at those won't have sort of the same skill set. Wah! Where's the spider? Come on, spider dude. Alright. Now see, the worm went under early this time, so that's going to make this all a bit trickier. Uh-oh. I was falling off the world. You can kind of catch yourself. It sort of slowly sinks you for a second, but you actually do have a minute to come back from that, which is a bit weird since it's just a sheer drop, but it's kind of a soft... nope. Kind of a soft drop. Alright. But yeah, this game has a very just one more game type addiction to it. I never intend to sit down and play it for more than maybe like 15 minutes, and I don't think there's a single time that I haven't played it for at least an hour. That was dumb. And dumb mistakes like that will occasionally make you want to break your keyboard. I have found I do sort of get a little bit of fatigue after maybe an hour and a half. It's like, I should probably just take a break from this and stop because I'm making dumb mistakes. Yeah, that definitely happens for me on a semi-regular basis. I was playing earlier this morning and was doing really well, and then all of a sudden the bottom just dropped out. I just could not get anywhere at all. Ah, come on. Okay. It's too late to stop that one, but that's okay. make it up. Yeesh. I think that one actually got off a full second volley, which is not great. Some people have different strategies. You'll find that there are certain people who decided at some point that they wanted those power-ups real bad, and so they would actually farm enemies by leaving some of the monoliths up, which you can do, but I've never found that to be particularly helpful. And I don't think anyone that has topped out the leaderboard has followed that strategy. The guy who has the current world record, I believe, tried it at one point and said, nah, screw this. It's not worthwhile. So I am way late here at this point. I have way too many skulls on the field. So I'm not going to be able to get that spider. What I'm going to do is just sacrifice a few of these and hopefully get over there in time to kill him before he gets all of them. Since he was pretty far away, that actually went alright. But that's a rough situation to try and recover from. That was a mistake. Lucky I didn't get punished for that. Okay, get my power-ups there. 2 more. Not sure how many I need. There we go. There we go. Kind of use this to take a second to try and clear out some of those extraneous skulls. It's usually helpful. And then I like to just go straight for the spiders. Crap. That was too far. Alright, good. Oh boy. Alright. Also can be helpful to take a minute to center yourself instead of immediately jumping right back in. Take a second to kind of get your zen back. I've tried various strategies at this stage to see if I could sort of streamline it. I have gotten to the point where about 75% of the time I can actually get up to the spider without even moving. Just, you know, doing everything at a distance from the center. But that occasionally goes wrong. It's usually slightly more reliable to actually move. But there is a tendency to overthink at times. I've seen some people play the game and sort of try too hard, thinking that they need to be doing more than they are. But it's actually okay to stop sometimes, as long as you know that you're in a position where it's safe to do so. And like, not firing, you don't have to be firing constantly. There are going to be times when it is decidedly in your favor. You know, obviously just for gem collection, since that happens when you stop firing. But also just like with those level 1 bonehead guys, they are pretty good at dodging in certain circumstances. They can be quite aggravating. They'll kind of give you the slip, and if you don't fire, they tend to stop being so slippery. They'll kind of, you know, fly back down to where you can hit them more easily. They stop running away from you as much. I've seen some people say that they thought they operated on the principle of like when you looked away from them, they stopped coming after you, but I don't think that's the case. And he went under early there again. I'm not sure if there's anything that causes that or if that's random. But there are definitely times when this dude just... Let's see if we can finish him off. Yep. When he's just kind of not made his usual circuit of the whole arena, or whatever it is that he normally does, and has gone back under. seemingly in half the time. Ah, that's a shame. Okay. Always just gonna have to breathe a sigh of relief when it's over. Get your mind back on the... not making any mistakes on mundane things here. I think that was the first major hurdle for me in the game, was learning how to properly and reasonably consistently deal with that spider. He's a real pain in the ass. Whoopsie. Well, that was a little ugly. And I missed the power up. That was just dumb. That would be a moment when you don't want to stop. It's really easy to have sort of a momentary lapse in cognitive function in this game. Just kind of have a brain fart, and while you're catching your bearings, you tend to die. Oh, that's a shame. Bored. So that was sloppy. And that was also sloppy. So I'm going to be a little late in getting to my crowd control here. Just slightly. We might still have time to take this one out. Yep, just in time. Once you start to really learn the fine points on the timing, that's when you'll see your scores tend to go up real consistently. But it does take time. Like I say, it took me a good, probably a good 15 hours or so before I sort of felt like I had a decent handle on all of this kind of early game stuff. Like really knowing in and out what the best course of action was. That was close. Come on, dude. Yeah, we're late. Okay. Damn it. I messed that rocket jump up. We're still okay. The most nerve-wracking sound for me in this game, even though this game is full of nerve-wracking sounds, is when the regular little skull dudes get too close. When you hear that sort of, you know, hollow sound that they make on their way by, it's terrifying for me. Because that means I fucked something up. That means I have not done well enough on my crowd control, and I start to get kind of terrified of what is about to befall me. Okay, come on. Get some speed here. Oof. That was too close. So that, get rid of him. Good. I'm gonna actually use my homings. Ah! Should have used him a touch earlier. The better players apparently don't use the homing early. They tend to save it up. And you don't... I'm not actually entirely sure how that works. I believe you get more of it the more gems you collect, but I'm not entirely positive how that works since I haven't really had a lot of time to experiment with it. And the times that I did pretty well after having gotten it, I didn't really need to use it, as I was doing alright on my crowd control. Oops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. A little close. Ooh. Yeah, close call. This game has a lot of those. Even on your best runs, there's almost always moments where you're just like, man, how did I even live through that? I've looked back at some of my replays and just been sort of shocked that I didn't whiff on a play or two. A little slow. Looking pretty good. Find our spider. It is over here. Every now and again you will, even though you have this nice setup under the belly there, sometimes you do still miss a gem or two. For some reason it just kind of works out that way. It's usually not too hard to just sort of leave the worm be for a while. Kind of let you focus on other stuff, and eventually you'll just get a good opportunity to finish him off more often than not. Man. Okay. Really need to get that weapon upgrade. There we go. Clear out some of these jerks. Ah! Nope. It's funny because I've really hit a roadblock there where initially I was doing real well with it for a while and consistently getting a lot closer to my high score, and I sort of regressed at some point. That's another thing I've seen people lamenting about, that like they'll do really well and maybe do really well for a little while, and then all of a sudden it's just like, I can't play anymore. And you just keep making dumb mistakes, or even not necessarily playing badly, but not getting as far as you feel your skill ought to take you. There's so many little things that can go wrong in any particular game that, yeah, sometimes you just really fall into a slump. And even though you're, you know, not really playing poorly, it still gets tricky. It's sometimes harder, I've found at least, to be totally consistent with, you know, staying at the top of your game, or what you feel like the top of your game should be. I do also occasionally, this may just be me, I do occasionally have trouble getting the shotgun to fire correctly. Doesn't happen often. Every now and again, I tap it and it just does a short burst of the, you know, sustained fire rather than doing the shotgun blast that I was hoping for. Come on now. This garbage. Yep, missed one on his, right by his head, and another a little further down. Fortunately, that was only 2 gems, so we shouldn't be that far off of getting our upgrade. There we go. Hopefully we'll just have a good opportunity to finish the worm off shortly. Because we really don't want 2 of those dudes floating around, but that's what we got. Took way too long. And this is the wrong worm. Nope. Just a little too much. Well, that was just sloppy. That was also sloppy. Wow. Alright. This is not ideal. Okay. The more you play this, you do get a really sharp sense of your time. After doing this, you know, like a million times, you sort of get to that point where it's like, you literally know how many rotations of the monolith you've missed, you know, how late you are, just by virtue of that. Which is weird, you know, it's... I don't normally play games with an obsessive attention to detail, it's just something that by this game's very nature, you just kind of pick up on. I am way behind at this point. Yeah, that was hopeless. Hey, Cormac McCarthy. Good writer. Oh, that was dumb. Yeah, you know, I should have my timer up here to see when it is that I actually get, when I get that upgrade. Because I'm not actually sure when that usually happens. At that point, I'm usually just playing a bit more frantically, trying to worry more about crowd control, and just taking gems of opportunity, as it were. Ugh, that was retarded. El Odyssey, how you doing, my friend? Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to obviously be a little slow on the chat since a little hard to read chat and play at the same time. I'll try and catch up between deaths. Ah, that was terrible. Alright, not too bad. A little sloppy. Okay, real sloppy, actually. Real sloppy. So yeah, I've topped out at 239. I want to say, yeah, I usually get to like 150 seconds, and it is hard to. You do have to concentrate real hard on keeping up with the squids after that point for sure. But yeah, honestly, I'm doing good. Really nice day. It's been cold, but all of a sudden it got warmer today, so got the doors open. And I finished a review of this game last night at like 4 in the morning after playing it for way too long. And that'll be going up, I hope, on popoptic.com soon-ish. Like, I'm hoping later today. And, yeah, just thought I'd kind of chill out and stream a little. Because I'm desperate to keep my top in the my score in the top 100. And I've been rapidly losing ground. I was in the top 50 for a couple of days. And I've been gradually falling since. I've not been able to beat my score of 239 in a couple days. So, just trying to put in the time. I don't normally get that competitive about games, especially this type of leaderboard stuff, you know? I was more competitive in Quake 3, like back in the day. Which is one of the reasons I like this game so much, even though it's a very different kind of competition. Man, you little skull bastard, come back here. Okay. That's less than great. Nope. But yeah, this game took me by surprise. I hadn't even heard of it. I just found it on Steam, popped up on the store. It's like, it's kind of a cool name, Devil Daggers. Reminded me of Devil Dice back in the old PlayStation days. How? Oh lord, that's just slop. You know what? We're just gonna start that right over. Yeah, you should definitely pick this game up, man, for sure. Like, at $5, I mean, I can't believe the mileage I've gotten out of this. I expected I would play it for a couple hours, you know? It was like, yeah, it looks like a fun throwback arena shooter. I'll play this for a couple hours and never look at it again. And, like I say, I don't know what my stats are right now, but my guess is I have probably just recently passed 30 hours. And have not been bored even once. This is a great game for $5. And I wanted to get that review done as soon as possible because I really want more people to know about this game. It's definitely not going to appeal to everyone. It has I think a certain target audience, for sure. Like I say, for someone like me who instantly went into the game like already bunny hopping and understanding the importance of why I was doing it, that's going to be different from somebody who's not growing up on this type of gameplay, I guess. But yeah, this game is real good. It's very tight. Like, I'm not entirely sure how many people are on the dev team. I know it's a small team. I've heard rumors that it's just a single guy, who I believe is Matt Bush on the leaderboards. And I don't know if there's anybody else or not. I know it was in the works for a while. They had some, you know, found some posts here and there that were like showing off some art. They had some GIFs and stuff like that up, or GIFs if you prefer. But spider. There we go. Yeah, Lassus, I don't understand that either. I really don't. Like, $5 is definitely not too much for this game. But I guess it really depends on what you're after. You know, a lot of people are like, there's only one map, you know, like, what the heck? Which, you know, I can understand that reaction. Like, it does feel really limited at first, and it is. It's just not limited in the way that people think. There's, like, an artistry to the way this game moves and breathes that was very unexpected for me. Okay. Come on. That was a little dumb. That was a little dumb. Sometimes that risk of running straight into the crowd pays off, though, when you're at this weapon tier. You can kill a lot of stuff pretty quick. Come on, spider, spider, spider! Get rid of those. Get back here. Ah, that was too close. Way too close. Nope! Ah. Alright. Yeah, I know. GIFs. I pronounce it like jibs. Or is it Gibbs? I've always said jibs, like giblets. So I guess that's why I pronounce GIFs the same way, but everyone hates that. That doesn't seem to be the accepted use. How many seconds was that? Did anybody see? I wasn't actually paying attention to how long I just lived there. Cormac McCarthy was curious about when that last upgrade generally happens, and I haven't been paying attention to when I've been getting it. Every time I turn the timer on, I just don't look at it. I just never do. Okay, that was kind of garbage. Crap. Definitely missing my gems here. Ah, that was too close for comfort. Alright, we're on target. Let this guy come to us. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! That was a bad time to glance at the chat and nearly throw myself into the void for no reason at all. That was a hell of a save. Shoot. That threw me off. Alright. And that was a failed rocket jump. Man, this is not going well. Come on. There we go. See, I feel like 150 is probably about right for the final upgrade, just because I was playing like crap there. Damn it, come on. Ah. I've let way too many in. Way too many. It's real hard to come back from that when you've neglected your squids for that long. Yeah, I was at about 170, but I was playing like crap. I could have been doing that a lot quicker. So I probably would say that 150-ish is an acceptable time frame. I would say anything over 175, and that's probably kind of rough. That was terrible. We'll see if I can do any better. Maybe get a little closer to 150. I am definitely not as good as the top of the leaderboard, for sure. Although I feel like I'm climbing okay for the time investment. I believe he said it took him 50 hours to last over 500 seconds. So I got about 20 hours to go, I guess, before I'm at that level. If his progress is anything to go by. And yeah, it is based on getting gems. Shoot. So, like, this is the earliest that you can get this upgrade. Which is definitely something you want to do. That is... man, what am I doing? I don't know. That gem. There we go. Man, I hate when that happens. Good lord. It's just... this is not going to go well. Nah. That... wow. That was a little close. Wow, this is... I thought I would be a lot further behind than this. Okay, do we have time? Kinda. Gonna have to hit him at the front to finish him off. Ah, nope. Yeah, it does have a Geometry Wars kind of feel to it, but at the same time, like, what's neat about it is it's less random. Like, there's sort of a, it almost feels like a puzzle to me, like trying to figure out how to tackle each situation. I don't know, there's definitely a whole lot of skill involved. Knowledge is only kind of half of it, but I like games that you have to learn. That's one thing that I've really enjoyed about Darkest Dungeon, because that's a game that demands that you learn its systems for you to succeed. And same with like XCOM 2, which I've also been playing, and I really enjoy that idea of really having to invest in something and learn it. Good lord, I wasted a lot of time on that one skull. Nope. Ugh. Probably talking too much, not paying enough attention to what I'm doing. This is probably around the time Stream's been up for an hour, so this is probably around the time I start to suck a little. It may take me a little while to get my second wind. We'll see. Usually it's like an hour and a half. I'm like, yeah, I just can't play. I suck. Like, yeah, this is... Good God. Let's try that again. I'm really wanting to get my high score up today, because I don't want to drop off the top 100 in the leaderboards if I can help it. That's probably the highest I've ever been on a leaderboard in my life, so I would like to maintain if at all possible. This actually also isn't completely my ideal setup. I'm an EDSF player rather than a WASD. And my mouse is a Logitech mouse. I actually have two Logitech mice, both of which have the infamous double click problem. Some people say that it's an issue with the little copper plate in the mouse switch, which is entirely possible. Other people say it's actually like static buildup and you can discharge it. I have not had luck in either case. I actually opened my mouse up and tried to fix it the other night, and I think I just made it worse. So I'm actually using Shift as my fire key, which is something I used to do a long time ago back when I played games at work on a laptop with a trackpad, touchpad. So it's a little bit awkward, and that key seems a little finicky. I think that's why like my shotgun blasts are not always on point. It's not quite as good as having a nice dedicated mouse fire button. But I know, excuses, right? I'm really not being dedicated about getting my gems here. Alright, we're gonna have to get the worm on the second appearance. Ah, that's a little close. Oh man, I was on the right side. Thought I was on the wrong side and second guessed myself. Sorry, I'm just gonna pause for a second, catch up on the chat here. You just made it to 180, making sure you got every gem and didn't get the upgrade. So thinking when you get the gold dagger, you level up more quickly and do more damage. Huh. That's an interesting thought. I don't know about that. Yeah, I only have the silver as well. Yeah, that's interesting. It's early enough in this game's life cycle that there may well be more information that we don't totally know yet or haven't, you know, confirmed. And there really aren't that many people playing this game. Like, it's kind of sad. You know, the leaderboards, as of this morning, there was only 10,000 people on them. So, like, that's a pretty low number. I would love to see more people playing this game and see more information get out there. See more crazy performances from really good players. I'd love to see, like, the Quake Live community jump on this and see some of those people start playing. I think that would be great. That will certainly, if anything like that does happen, that will push me well out of the top 100, I'm sure, but I think that's a worthy sacrifice for seeing some more high-level play. Watching replays in this game is great. I'm also really bummed that more of my friends aren't playing. Like, I don't have a friends list to compete against because I'm the only person who's playing this. I have one other friend who wants it, and he's on XP still. So the game does not support XP, thus he is not playing it, which is a total bummer. By the way, how's the stream working out for you guys? Like, is it running well? I've never streamed this game before. I did a brief test recording to make sure like my settings look good, but I want to make sure it's running smoothly. Okay, we're still good. Good, glad to hear it. Most stuff runs pretty well on this rig. I just built it not all that long ago, so... Oh man, I hate when I do that. Do a drive-by and totally whiff. It's the worst. Okay, I just got it at 173 there. And I have silver as well, so we know it's at least possible to get it that quickly. It could be that you might be slightly more efficient. Ah, this is gonna go bad! Damn it. Slightly more efficient at killing squids than I've been. And so thus, you know, you're... Man, this is frustrating. I'm gonna shut up for a minute. Alright. You're getting less skull guys like to come out and give you gems, period. That is, oh man, right into the worm's face. God damn it. Alright. Okay, what I was trying to say is that you may be killing killing more of the squids more quickly than I am, and thus ultimately getting fewer power-ups as you go, possibly. I'm not actively trying to farm anything. I am trying to kill it off as quick as possible, so I can't say that for certain, but, you know. We'll see. And yeah, I'm sure the encoding goes to complete garbage on this. I was watching someone stream it just for a minute the other day, and it was like, man, this is actually kind of hard to watch, but I guess that's the nature of streams. Normally I'm streaming like strategy games and things that are a little slower paced than this. Okay, well that sucks. That's a bad start. Come on, come on! Jeez. I hear you, Skulls. I hear you. I know you're there. That damn, like, hollow jaw sound they make Just drives me crazy. I think because that's when I know I'm playing like crap. If I hear that, that means I've let a flock of these guys live way too long. I call them a flock. I don't know if that's like a good term. Okay, spider. Death to spiders. I actually like spiders, but these guys are kind of messed up. I love the monster design in this game. Like, the spiders are really cool looking. I think it's remarkable how much personality all these enemies have for what essentially is just like a bunch of skulls. Nope, that was real dumb. What am I at here? I haven't been paying attention. Still in the top 100. Still in the top 100. 89. I've definitely noticed the leaderboard moving more slowly, even though more people have like jumped on. There was like an initial movement to it where, you know, all the time you were seeing pretty big updates. And I'm sure there are still like a lot of contested updates within the top 100, like higher up than I am. Oops. But where I'm at, it's remained remarkably consistent. Ugh. Sorry, I think that's my cell phone. See, I think that was the first thing I learned in this game, for the first like 10 hours or so, was... And I think that's also one of the reasons that repeating it so often isn't really a bad thing. Because you learn how important efficiency is, and it gives you an idea of how to efficiently do things to some degree. You're not always going to be as efficient as you want to, but you kind of realize that there is like an ideal path. There is an ideal sort of optimization for how well you can kill things. And it is different for different people. Like, not everybody has the same pathways that they take. Like, mine are unique. As far as what I have been watching. I'm sure there's lots of other people that are playing in a very similar way, but as far as what I've specifically watched, I've noticed people doing things a little bit differently than me, which is kind of cool. You know, there is a little, like, personal... Oops, that was too close. A little personal variance for all this stuff, which is cool, but you'll definitely learn how to play in a more efficient manner, whatever that manner ends up being. That sucked. That sucked real bad. Hopefully, since I'm on stream, you guys keep me from playing too poorly. This is definitely around the time when I start to really fall apart. Especially because the game allows you to instantaneously restart. Like, sometimes it probably helps to actually kind of take a breather and unclench your fist. After playing this for like an hour or two, I noticed that my hand starts to hurt. Like, my mouse hand starts to hurt. And I've also noticed that I don't blink nearly as often as I probably should. My eyes probably hate me after I've gotten done playing this for a while. I just kind of stop blinking, which is probably not wise. Nope. Alright, I gotta crack the knuckles. Stretch for a second. I'm gonna stand up. Give my legs a little stretch. Okay. feels better. But yeah, do be careful. Be mindful of your hands and your eyes when playing games for long periods of time. Now you'll notice right there, every now and again, your shotgun just, at least for me, and again, this could be the keyboard more than anything else, but every now and again, instead of a blast, I get like what amounts to this, even though I have just tapped the button and let go of it. So it doesn't happen very often, which leads me to believe that it's probably just a mechanical issue with my keyboard. The key just not coming back after being depressed quite quickly enough. And it's not usually a big deal. But it does suck when you either really need that shotgun blast or really need that rocket jump and don't get it. Sometimes that can be real bad. Okay. But that's one thing I do generally do that I don't know how everyone handles. There's a third squid during that phase that you can kill before it launches anything, if I'm not mistaken. That? Nope. See if I can point it out in this next run here. And sometimes I don't make it fast enough if I have a kind of sloppy run like that and I don't kill the spider in time and don't get the weapon upgrade as fast as I should. And so sometimes it does get off a volley of guys, which I guess in theory would get me an extra gem. But I usually manage to kill it off before that at this point. Try and take care of these guys, and then it's this one right here. I guess actually that is, now that I think about it, that's the first one that launches. So it does actually go, it's just if you leave it long enough, it'll fire off a second round. I think those are the dudes that come after you when you're going after the spider. Yeah! Garbage play. Whoops. That was a little close. Any skulls? No, we're good. That's what I always look for, because those will prevent you from taking the nice easy course with this guy and just standing there doing this. If there's any skulls around, they will almost certainly kill you. The little skulls, I mean. They will almost certainly kill you before you've had a chance to finish off the worm. Shoot. That was way too close. Okay, I just got it at 163 there. I think that's the fastest I've gotten it on stream today. Shoot. Little guys are out. That's not good for me. Come on. Not moving fast enough. Ah! Good lord. Man, so many spiders. Too many spiders. This is as far as I've been consistently making it over the last, I guess, day and a half, 2 days. I just haven't made any progress at all. I keep choking at the same point there. That time I actually had a pretty good head start. I think I'm taking too long to kill the spiders. Either that, or maybe I'm actually focusing more on the spiders than I need to be. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, the field just gets too crowded, and I'm not able to keep up. Having watched, you know, some of the advanced replays of the top scorers, I know that it is possible to again clear the field from that point. So, I don't know. Man. Nope. That's not it. I can feel my goal of getting a new high score slipping away from me today. I've already been playing this game for a little bit more than I probably should today. That's kind of why I actually decided to stream it. I'm like, you know, I can't justify playing any more of this unless I'm gonna stream, do a recording for YouTube, something. Oops. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Those audio cues get me sometimes. I actually sort of instinctively react to the level 2 horn skulls. When I hear them, I immediately assume they're behind me, even if they're not. Just because that's usually where they are when you start hearing them. Usually I can kill them off before then. Ah, that wasn't great. Okay. Come on, spider jerk. Missed one on his neck, basically. Not ideal. Gonna be nice? Yes, he is. Man, didn't quite catch that one in time. It's definitely later getting it that time by 6 seconds. Okay, that was pretty good. Now I'm going to concentrate on these. And maybe all homing. trying to take out these central pillars here before I worry about the spiders. Just keep these spawns down. Ah, right into a pod. That was going to be the run, guys. Damn it. That was going to be it. And I jumped right into a pod. The lamentations of Q. Did better about killing the spiders there, though. I think that definitely does make a difference. Getting those down a little faster lets you concentrate a little more on crowd control. So we'll see if we can repeat that performance. Lord? Gotta be kidding me here. Start with these. Okay. Just about caught up then. It's a lot easier to kill those spiders once you have the second gun upgrade. You feel like you miss them a lot less often. They have a little less room to dodge. He's got one left. Come on. There we go. Ah! Alright. You rewatched the replay, and he does leave two of the single pillars up to spawn 2 times during the wave before the first centipede. That's how he gets the final upgrade at 150. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. After a certain amount of experimentation, I'm sure, you know, again, you can kind of tailor your play to certain paths through the game, I guess, as it were. But that would be something I probably want to experiment with at some point. Just kind of like fiddle around and restart a lot, you know, not take it too seriously, just kind of take it as a learning experience and see whether or not I could replicate his method. I guess 20 seconds, 20 extra seconds or more, depending, but roughly 20 seconds of extra time on that 3rd tier weapon would be pretty helpful. Come on here. Missed one. We got some there. This is probably not going to be the run. I always end up losing too much time trying to focus on the worm after I don't get him on the first try. And that actually hurts me a lot. It's sort of just an impulse, like, oh man, I didn't get him, I better get him now, because I'm trying to make up for lost time. But that, you often get sort of attacks of opportunity, kind of like that, except I messed it up. But it's usually better, it seems to me, not to focus on correcting that mistake and just wait until the worm gets like right back out in front of you. And yeah, he's at 50 hours. It took him around 50, he said. I believe he said that on Twitter at some point. So yeah, if you're only at 15, like, don't sweat it. I'm at about, you know, 32 maybe by now, something like that. I don't know. And I think no matter how long you play, this game is so easy to mess up in, you know, one screw up and that's it a lot of times. So, you know, I think there's going to be sort of a natural slump no matter what you do after you get like your top score. It's going to take you a while naturally before you recreate that experience. And you never have to feel too bad because, you know, there's always people that can only last like 30 seconds. The giant bomb quick look was kind of painful to watch. It's like I was, especially knowing that Brad Shoemaker is a Quake guy, I was like, man, use your Quake skills here, bud. Like, bunny hop, move that stuff. But I imagine that's something they need to spend a little more time actually like watching other people before they figure out. I think neither he or Dan had spent time watching replays since they watched one on the quick look and said, oh, look at this guy, he's bunny hopping. Ah. Well, that couldn't have gone much worse. Ate some of the gems, and I missed the... Let's see if we can get him here. Nope, he's going under. I was hoping he was going to come around again. Well, this late in the game... hopeless. I do love the feel of this game though, I gotta say. Like, it feels so good to play. Even when you lose, it never stops feeling good to move in this game. Just, you know, that old school speed. I was always more of a Quake guy than like an Unreal Tournament. I liked Unreal Tournament, but this just feels like home to me. This is like comfort food, even though it does occasionally make me want to smash my keyboard across my desk. Oh, I missed one. Well, that's not great. Nope. 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 Oh, come on. Good lord. For me, like, I don't know how other people do it, I definitely prioritize skulls. The, you know, little dudes. I always want to get rid of them as fast as possible. Because I find that they tend to screw me up a lot. Probably more than anything else. But like anything else, you need to learn when to let it go. I had to learn when to let skulls go because I would find myself wasting like many seconds more than I should trying to kill them off. After, you know, there'd be like one that was hanging out. It's just like, no, he's got to be dead, and I'd spend too much time. And learning when to move on from targets has definitely helped me. Because you'll almost always sort of get a better shot later on down the road. Okay, spiders down here. Oh yeah, man, me too. Like, my neck and my mouse hand in particular get real bad. That was a little close. Don't fail me now, shotgun. Come on. Close to the edge. He's hiding. Uh-oh. That was a little intense. Nope. He's just breaking the 200-second mark seems to be my roadblock at this point. That or like seems like 195 and 215. I feel like whenever I stop to actually take a look at how far I made it, those seem to be where I keep dying. That's another cool thing that I like is the fact that there's no music. Like when you've actually cleared a wave and you get that sort of minute of, not minute, but you know, a couple seconds of silence. It's just like, it's sort of profound. Ugh. Getting sloppy. I can feel my hand starting to tense up a bit. Which might have something to do with it, even though I'm not actually using my my mouse button to fire. You'll hear me clicking, but that's because I use my right mouse button to jump. Missed another one somewhere. Well, actually, maybe I didn't kill one of those guys. Nope. Too slow. feel like I've actually been getting less efficient with those first 3 as the day has worn on. Nope. Walked right into that. God. Alright, at some point in the next little bit here, I'm gonna have to take a break or something. Refresh myself, maybe grab a snack or something. I really would like to beat that record. It's so hard to pull myself away. I try not to have a big, like, gamer ego, you know, get too competitive about things, but I really want to have high score in this. Doesn't have to be the best, but I'd love to get back into that top 50 if I could. I was real proud of myself there. Wasting time there. Paused because I thought surely I didn't have all the skulls killed off that quickly. Oh! Alright. Well, I'm not ready to call it quits just yet, but I am going to take a quick break. Because I need to stretch my legs, gotta give my hand a chance to uncramp, and grab a quick snack. So I will be back in you know, I'd say 5-10 minutes, as quick as I can be. So I'll see you guys in just a sec. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. That took a little longer than I anticipated. Apparently really needed to eat something. Which hopefully will make me a little better at this game, which I'm kind of currently sucking at just a little bit. So, let's see what we can do. Alright. Collect myself. Okay. Let's do it. Didn't intend to take quite that long, but I actually had to eat a small meal, which I prepared in record time. So I didn't realize how hungry I was. It's never a good idea to play games so hard that you forget to actually eat food. Nope. Alright. That's just a warm-up. And thank you also, Cormac McCarthy and L Odyssey, for the follow. I appreciate that. I don't have Twitch alerts going right now, and frankly I'm not that big a fan of having like a mess of stuff all over the screen. I like a simpler stream, so I don't tend to have notifications and stuff on, but I appreciate the follow. Alright. $250, here we come. Okay, looking good so far. Not looking so good now. No, we're still okay. Those spiders duck and cover, man, that drives me nuts. Had my momentum go in the wrong direction there. That was not great. Ah! 178. Not quite. We need to get in the habit of using my shotgun a little bit more. I don't practice with it quite enough. Again, if it was a mouse click, I suspect I would do a little better. I really should just go buy a new mouse, you know, but I'm kind of poor, so sometimes you just have to make do with what you got. Okay. I do love the way the shotgun sounds. It's a great sound that's kind of hollow. I don't know. It really appeals to me for whatever reason. Okay, death to spider. Ah, he went back under. Yeah, I still haven't figured out why he does that sometimes. Sometimes he just makes a real quick trip. Thought maybe I could get a few more shots off than I could there. Ah! Nope. Ah, that's great, El Odyssey. I'm glad you bought it. You know, I think the best thing about the fact that this is $5 is, like, even if it's a game that you ultimately don't end up loving as much as, you know, some people do, it's only $5, right? You know, it's less than a sandwich. I think it's worth the risk. And I don't know, you know, what's in store for this guy in the future. I believe he and/or his associates, and again, not sure how many people worked on this. I want to say they made the engine for Dust Force. I want to say. But I don't think they've made, you know, any games of their own until this one, so... Ugh. So, you know, supporting indie developers is always a good thing. Whoop! Nope. That was a bad run anyway. I got behind pretty early on there. Oh, come on. So sometimes you just start goofing around and things don't go your way. Oh, come on. Come on, dude. One down. There it is. Nope. Yeah, man, this game is like super metal. Like, it's all headbanging, all headbutting. Giant mosh pit. It's actually kind of funny in that sense. Like, this game has this really badass exterior, but at the same time, like, it's kind of a really thoughtful game. At least in terms of the way I've been perceiving it. It gets crazy, but the panic that I used to feel when I first started playing it has kind of given way to this sort of weird zen feeling, you know, like kind of fall into a zone and trance out a little bit. I guess just the act of having done these things like 1,000 times. I certainly wouldn't call the game peaceful exactly, but everybody? That's everybody. Don't want to leave anybody out. Oh, it's so satisfying to pull that off. Trying to maintain my crowd control here. Ah, that almost went real bad. Go. That surprised me. Okay. Alright, so you say you've made it to 201, but now when you play, you feel like there's even more stuff happening at 175. Yeah, like, it's amazing when you're playing how deceptive time is. That's one thing I've noticed, you know, having replayed these beginning sections over and over and over again, is that just the simplest little screw up, you know, the simplest thing that takes just a fraction more time, in the grand scheme of things, it feels like an eternity. All of a sudden, you're just buried under so much more stuff, and you're like, man, all I did was this one little thing. One little thing, just slightly differently. But it can spiral out of control real quick. So there is definitely a sense of, you know, when you watch some of those other replays, like, how does this guy do this so fast? You know, how is his screen so clear and beautiful when mine looks like such a shit heap? But yeah, like, as soon as you lose even a little bit of time, it makes a huge difference with how fast these things spawn in. They are very much rigged to a very specific timing. And it adds up real fast. So, yeah, like, I definitely do not do anything nearly as quick as the top guys on the leaderboard either. And there's times when you can make up for it, you know, there's sort of those lulls that if you're just doing well enough to kind of make up for lost time at those points, you know, you can kind of reset that moment-to-moment experience for yourself. But it's tough all the way around. This is a game that's much more about time than I expected it to be. You know, it seems like, sure, of course, it's all about time, it's about the survival, but it's also about all those little intervals in between, which I thought was interesting. It wasn't what I expected. Whoa. Play nice, fella. Yeah, a little too close. Uh-oh. That was maybe less than perfect. There we go. Okay, good. Good. Can I sit here? Can I afford this? No! I can't. That was kind of a dumb risk. I thought I could maybe finish him off just before that group hit me, but that was just me being impatient. It's like, look how much time I have here. Just because I did things a little bit faster, and it's not a lot of time, it's just a few seconds, but it feels like an eternity, you know, compared to how much breathing space I normally have at that point. I definitely find that it adds up more than you're able to kind of parse well most of the time. Gosh darn it, are you kidding? Come on. Whoop. Come on. Don't do that to me. Okay. Nope, nope. I saw him coming. Saw that horn in the corner of the screen. I just couldn't do a damn thing about it. Have you guys messed with your mouse sensitivity at all? Out of curiosity. I found that it generally seems good, you know, like a nice high sensitivity, but because there's so little that you can use as a frame of reference visually, I feel like I have to kind of set it a little bit lower than I would in something like Quake 3 or what have you, just because it's really easy to get lost. You can sort of move your mouse just a little too fast and like, wait, where am I? What am I looking at? So I don't have it set down a lot from the default, but I set it down just a little bit. And that seems to have helped slightly, but I played so much of it at the default setting that if I set it down too low, like now just my timing's all off and I don't feel like trying to readjust to it. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Didn't have my momentum going there. That was a bit of a fuck up. Oops. I was way off there. Ah. Definitely need to figure out if there's some reason that the worm goes underground early sometimes. Nah! Almost. And yes, there is rocket jumping, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, shotgun jumping. It's a little different from Quake style. You push the buttons simultaneously, but it's very helpful at times. It can also get you killed. I have on more than one occasion rocket jumped off the side of the abyss, but... Ah. Alright, that was dumb. Try and get it together here. Okay. Ah! I do that sometimes. I think that I'm on the last squid right before the worm spawns, and I'm actually one before that, and I forget that there's guys coming in behind me. That has messed me up on numerous occasions. And no, sorry man, I missed the VSync comment. I'll check as soon as I finish this run here. I have not messed with any settings or anything on here. I didn't even know there was a VSync setting. Uh-oh. This is not going as well as I'd like. That's good. No, no! So many of them! Get out! Ah! This is falling apart. Oh man. That was hopeless. Alright. Huh, so you set VSync off in the NVIDIA control panel? That's for 140 FPS? A 1-to-1 ratio rather than smoothing? Interesting. Yeah, I might have to mess with that at some point. I'm on AMD, but... Okay, that was really ugly. Welcome to Garbage Town, population me. Running about a squid behind the entire time here. And I have missed a whole bunch of pickups as well. Trying to make up for lost time, which ain't gonna help me in the long run. That was a little close. Can't afford to miss any drops this time. This is pretty well hopeless. These guys are gonna eat all my drops. I'm never gonna get the firepower. There we go. Guess I wasn't quite as far behind as I thought I was, but oof. Nope. Man, that was pretty ugly. Good enough for government work, as they say. See, I did it again. I was thinking we were one step further than we actually were. Okay. So far, so good. Whoa, that was a little close. Ah! Terrible. Gotta fight through the fatigue. I want that golden dagger, damn it. Whoa, that was sloppy. If you're gonna run into the back of one of those guys, should probably make sure you're actually shooting at him first. Whoa! Hi there. Oh, gosh. Sloppy. Alright, we salvaged it. There he goes again. It does seem like he's at a certain position to me every time he goes underground early. I don't know if that's me making something up or if that's actually happening. Maybe? Yeah, alright. There we go. Missed a few too many power-ups there. Nope. Not quite. 216, real nice, man. This is This is a comedy of errors. That was a little poorly executed. Right at the screen. Alright, well, I'm probably going to go for about another 20 minutes here, guys, and then call it quits. So we'll see if we can make any progress in that time. If not, just have to wait till next time, I guess. I'd say 3 hours is probably a good limit for constantly playing this game. What? Okay, now that was real interesting. I I fell off and seemed to hold on there for a second. I think that was just a slight glitch, perhaps. And alright, Cormac McCarthy, thanks for stopping by, man. It was good to have you around. Do feel free to drop in again. I'm sure I'll probably do this again at some point. I've been streaming XCOM 2 lately, although I haven't had time to do any streaming in the last little while, but I'm sure I will be back at this, because this game has its hooks in me pretty deep. That was almost real ugly. Okay, last squid. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Kinda screwed that up for myself. Oh, but he's being nice and giving us time. Missed one. Still. Come on, there we go. Nope. That fell apart pretty fast. Not really sure at this point what I could be doing better during that section to increase my survivability. I'm probably at some point gonna have to sit down and watch a few more replays see what it is that I may be missing.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, that was a giant waste of time. Missed one. Every now and again that happens, even though you feel like you're on point target-wise. Sometimes one of them doesn't quite connect. Get him this time. Crap. Uh-oh, that was foolish. Those dumb mistakes that get you killed. Like that. I find it's actually sort of therapeutic to kind of screw up sometimes. Make some dumb mistakes. You know, it kind of gives you a breather between the more intense periods. If you do well every single run, like that can be kind of fatiguing. Playing at the top of your game. Maybe it's a self-correcting behavior. Start playing like garbage just so you can take a little mental rest. I don't know. Why, hello there, fella. Jeez. It's like the 4th time I've done that this stream. It's kind of embarrassing. Hey, leave my gem alone. It's mine. All the gems are mine. Apparently not. There we go again. This really does make me want to play some Quake 3. I went to all the trouble, actually, of setting up a dedicated server a while back for the game community I'm part of, overwritten.net. And yeah, we played a few games, and it was great, but this kind of didn't stick around, which bummed me out, because I used to play Quake 3 every Friday back in the days of Planet Quake. We had the so-called FNFF, the Friday Night Frag Fest. That was really good times. I miss those guys. Kind of miss the old GameSpy network. had Hell Chick and Cobby. Damascus was there. Billy Rubin. Yeah, we had some good folks. Wow. Come on, guys. Leave me alone. Don't hide, come on. Shoot. That was the wrong way to jump. Let me tell you. That was not the thing. Oh man, I missed one. Jeez. I have no idea where I even missed. This is gonna go south. Yeah. No hope for that one. Planet Quake guys would be ashamed. Yeah, I haven't talked to any of those guys in a long time. Fun fact, Damascus, the guy that I used to play a lot of Quake with, back on Planet Quake, he actually was the, maybe still is, I don't know, I've lost touch with him, but was the bassist for a band called Drive, who were contemporaries of the now very popular God Forbid. A metal band on, I think, Century Media. Kind of blew up at some point. And they were from the same hometown. Man! What am I doing? Yeah. That was a little close. My play definitely seems to be diminishing the further we go here. I think I'm just fatiguing out at this point. Oh, come on! Really? Bastard! Why, hello! Right, wait, come on, really? Yeah, we'll have to get him next time. Where's he at? There it is. I get so distracted by that even when there's just one left, I find I tend to just bite it immediately afterward. In part just because those worms are a huge visual obstruction. Once you kill them, you can run through them, but they have that big transparent red body that kind of just gets in the way of everything. Can make it a little hard to see what you're doing. So it's much nicer to have it dead when there's nothing else on the field for you to pay attention to. Keeps that from being an obstacle. Did I miss a skull? Guess not. Thought I did. Jeez. Alright, now my hand is definitely starting to hurt. Feeling the tension here. How could I possibly have missed that one little shit, like, so many times? Alright, I think this is gonna have to be it. I don't think I can sit my ass in this chair any longer. Boy, that is tremendous garbage. What am I doing? That was alright. One more. One more. It can't go out on that note. That's just that was just terrible. Starting to go cross-eyed over here. Whoa! Nope. That's not okay. Okay, we're on target. Ah, got it. Sometimes if it's right at the end there and you miss one, you get lucky enough to grab it at the tail end. Whip yourself around real fast. There we go. That was late. No, 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 no. Damn. Alright, guys. 202. 38 seconds under my high score. Not going as well as I'd hope, but I think that's gonna have to do it. Because I just can't take any more. I can't take any more. 3 hours solid of this. Well, one break is a bit much for me. So thank you guys for joining me, though. I had a great time. I hope you did too. For those of you who haven't played the game a whole lot yet, maybe you learned a little something. It's a great game. It's $4.99 on Steam right now, Devil Daggers. Check it out. If you like old school shooters, or if anything that was happening here looked at all fun to you, check it out. I haven't gotten any word yet, but I'm hoping that my review will be up at popoptic.com. That's popoptic.com later this afternoon, if all goes as planned. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next time.